Halo, it's Jang here with a look at the Bloks Halo Charlie series mystery pack figures. This first one is just not going to work against a white background. There, much better. It's a half-active camel, yes, that's a thing, half-active camel, old-style jackal. You can only use the camel term if it's half and if it's jackal. It doesn't work for elites or anything else. They've done the same thing with this series that they did with the brutes previously, where you get the possibility of getting one of these with the active camel side on the left or on the right. So I only got one of them because I personally am not a big fan of the duality of those. If you want to be a completionist, you need to get both versions of these. They look the same, they've just basically mirrored it. So this one gets the left arm that's clear, the other one gets the right arm that's clear. The body is actually made out of a clear plastic, and they just spray on a gradient of that dark navy blue color. These two are the rares in the series, the new highly articulated Arctic Camo UNSC pilot figure, and then the gold Storm Grunt. And it feels a little bit weird to me to have a grunt be something rare, but then at the same time it makes a lot of sense to me because it means that you won't be getting lots and lots of grunts if you just go through these packs at random. I feel like it could be a little bit frustrating to a lot of folks, not to everybody, but to a lot of folks, to get a whole bunch of grunts just back to back to back, you know, if you get bad luck. Putting this in as a rare I think makes sense, and I actually like that as a grunt figure. It's probably my favorite grunt figure to date. I just like how it's black and very matte in the face, and the color of the gold just brings out the details on the back. It's also got the newer style of plasma pistol. More interesting though is the pilot. I think the old version of that same figure looked really good, and I think the new version looks good, although I do wish that they still did washes. It's one thing that I like about the body detail here is that they did have just a slight little bit of wash going over it that just adds in a little bit of dirtiness. Now instead they're just relying on placing little flecks of other colors of plastic in there to kind of add a little bit of weathering and color and detail to it. Still think it works out pretty well, and I very much appreciate that we get this in the fully articulated, or on the fully articulated skeleton, and with removable armor pieces. Both of these figures are common, and that's great because they're both great figures to get. On the left you've got the cyan soldier, and on the right I'm going to call him a grenadier, even though he does have a few other armor pieces on there. It's like he was trying to go for the George look, but didn't quite get all the unlocks that he needed to get to that point. He's got that same newer style of plasma pistol. The soldier has the regular style black color shotgun there. Collision in the center. Both very good looking figures. No problem getting duplicates of these, I feel. They're just very, very desirable figures, I think. The one thing that's wrong with the soldier is that the color of the head is just a little bit off. It's a little bit less green than the rest of the armor. These two are also common. How great is that? The Storm Elite Miner on the left, obviously, and on the right you get the Orbital Spartan in the steel colors, the slightly bluish, and it's the darker of the slightly bluish metallic kind of colors with the red. It's kind of a slightly desaturated red visor on that one, not metallic at all. Both of these I think look great. It's great to get a common figure that is the new style of elite. Very massable figure. He's got the newer style of beam rifle there as well, and just good level of detail all the way around. Neither of these again have the wash on them, but they really don't need it because there are such crisp details in all of the mold marks all around. All the little creases and such, I think, are just expertly well done. So I'm happy for these. You get the SOCOM pistol for the Orbital Dude, and just really quickly, a comparison between the new and old Storm Elite Miner. You can see the new one is larger. That's why it's taller than even a Spartan is now, as it needed to be. I think the old one was good too, in pretty much every way, but the new is just better, more highly detailed, and obviously more articulated with the extra joint added in to the leg, or actually extra length of leg added in, a whole extra limb, and then the extra joints everywhere. So just a nice progression forward. I saved this common figure for last because it has a bit more of a story for me. It's an orange recolor of Fred 104 that we got with the booster frame set from the Halo Legends episode The Package. It's exactly the same molds for everything, just a recolor and less printing or less paint applications on this one. I thought that this was Gen 1 Centurion armor, and a couple of other sources that are more reputable than me in the Halo world also quoted this as being Centurion armor. However, a viewer, gamer enthusiast Chris, corrected me and followed up with good research, good evidence, and good reasoning to let me know and let the rest of the community know that no, this is not Centurion armor. Fred didn't get Centurion armor until after this era in universe. The Centurion armor that Fred actually got is what is going to end up showing up in Halo 5, and it looks very, very different. This is Mark IV Revision B, Mark IV B Spartan armor. There's not a lot of information about Mark IV B out there, but check into it, and when you learn about it and see that gamer enthusiast Chris was right, you can thank him. I always appreciate it when folks come up with good arguments and they correct me when I am definitely wrong and just educate me and bring in better information. It's really refreshing compared to the usual, "You stupid noob, you don't know anything about Halo, that's not an elite, that's a Sangili." Or, "Master Chief in Halo 4 was wearing Mark 7 armor, not Mark 6. Yeah. So that's Charlie series, minus the mirror of the half-active camel jackal, and also minus the 2 undocumented gummy figures, the full active camo ones that are included in the series that are ultra rare and will take a lot longer to collect. All told, I am super happy with this entire series. There isn't a single figure here that I would be mad to get. Again, the jackal is my least favorite, but it's an ultra rare, so that makes it harder to get, so I'll get less of them as I go through multiple blind bags. If I had to pick one of these figures as my personal favorite, it would just barely be the Steel Orbital Spartan, but that would be just barely in front of 5 other figures that are tied for second, with the grunt being in third. Let me know in the comment section which of these is your favorite, or if you want to rank them from your most favorites to least favorite. That would be cool too. It would be interesting to see if there's any kind of trend that emerges from that. Also share your thoughts about this series on the whole, and let me know what you think about the half-active camel idea and how that works out for you as an ultra rare, as a semi-chase figure, or pair of figures, I guess. Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I hope that I showed you everything you wanted to see here, and I'll be talking to you again soon.